Oh, what's going on, guys? It's Hayden. Welcome to Hayden Cook Fishing. Today, this is my first video on the channel ever, but we're out here fishing Vernon Lake, doing some bank fishing. We're gonna try to get on some pigs today, and this spot is well known to produce giants. And I'll put a picture in right now about the 5.5 pounder that I caught off the bank, literally like 2 feet down that way. I caught it off a black and red spinnerbait. So this spot produces. And let's get to this fishing. All right, guys, I'm gonna be throwing a jerkbait to start it off, and I'm gonna be working it right here next to these pillars underneath this bridge on this water. But let's get it. Little finesse jerkbait, real small, real little. Throwing a Insight Pro Advantage for her. Some of my buddies, his mom, it's their pole, but. I'll tell you what, I've caught some pigs off this thing. I want my bait to sink. In fluorocarbon, that's a sinking line. And you don't want your bait to come all the way back up to the surface whenever it's a suspended jerkbait. You want that thing to stay in the middle of the water column or whatever you're working with. I'm throwing this jerkbait on these pillars underneath this bridge because I'm trying to catch any amount of shade or cover that these pillars produce. Sometimes you'll have some big bass hiding underneath the shadows of these pillars, and that's where you want to work your bait set the most. Like when you're flipping bridges and you're skipping bridges and stuff, work on them pillars, man. That's where you'll produce a lot of your big fish. So now I'm gonna switch it up to a spook, which is pretty much a top water presentation. Dude, people in their loud vehicles. A spook is pretty much a top water presentation of a jerkbait, or the hard body presentation of a fluke is what I like to call it. But I'm throwing the Sexy Shad color and the Super Spook Junior. And I came out here yesterday with this thing. Let me tell you, I missed some toes. Oh, just there. But Ducket Triad, 6'10", medium fast with the Lose Classic speed spool, 5 ball bearing, 6'5", 6'4" to 1 gear ratio, and this is my like light top water. It's a jerkbait and crankbait rod. Let's get it. Dude, I love throwing this spook. I could listen to the sound of this thing all day, bro. My brother-in-law over here is throwing a Senko. He's throwing a watermelon red yum dinger. He's trying to hook into the finicky fish, the ones that don't want to commit. I'm just trying to hook into anything right now. Majority of my bait casters, I like to throw 12-pound monofilament. It's literally like your all-around go-to line that you can use for every application and every reel you have. Because a lot of your reels you get, they will be that will have a capacity setting on them to where they hold like 110 to like 180 yards of 12-pound, and to be honest, that's all you need. And that's the perfect line because you can horse I mean, say you get a fish wrapped around a tree. If you got to, you can horse it out of that tree. It ain't no braid, it ain't no fluorocarbon. It's got just enough stretch for them treble hooks too, for when you set that hook. If it pulls back, you got just enough leeway for it to not come out and not rip your line in half. I can listen to the sound all day from the spook. I just wasn't looking. I had a pad over it. I mean, ain't no harm in trying. Huh? Why? You just gotta know how to throw it, homie.
You do? He doesn't do that.
Just really got the same amount. I spoiled all my reels up to the same amount of line, bro. Now here's where we get into throwing the thicker stuff. All right, I'm throwing a, next thing I'm switching up to, Z-Man ChatterBait with the gold blade. And it's got the weed guard on it. It's called the breaking brim color. And if you can't tell, I've been bit a lot on this thing. This thing produces. Because out here, a lot of the bait fish isn't really necessarily shad. It's brim, bluegill, pumpkin seed, green sunfish, warmouth, rock bass. I mean, the little brim looking fish is what they eat out here. I've noticed that. But I'm throwing that with the gold blade to kind of throw some extra flash so that kind of catches their eye a little bit more. And then I'm throwing a net bait, pack a crawl on the back of it in the green pumpkin color to kind of just have a flush color match, a flush colorway. And with that, I'm throwing the Shimano Sitica 7.2-1 on a Berkeley shock rod. 7 foot, medium heavy fast. My favorite way to work these chatterbaits is I just like to do a slow retrieve. I don't like to hop them. I don't like to twitch them. I just like to do a slow retrieve with this chatterbait. Funny when the fish don't want to commit to like a fluke or so-called the spook or a jerk bait. Whenever they don't want to commit to a twitch bait, I'll throw this because it's a moving bait. It throws off a lot of vibration. And with these, you can also bend your blades. You can bend them to flex and throw as much water and however you want them to. Right now, I'm throwing it in between the middle pillars of this bridge, and I'm gonna pop it up, let it hit the bottom, and then I'm gonna do the retrieve. I'm also doing the same thing with this chatterbait too. I'm working it on these pillars. There's a lot of bait fish and a lot of crappie like to hang out on these pillars too. I've noticed. I've caught a lot of crappie and a lot of brim style bait fish out of ooh, I just got hit. Out of spots like this. Not necessarily the same lake, but other lakes I've hooked into a lot of brim and stuff on pillars like this. And with this lake, I've hooked into a lot of brim on these pillars specifically. Let that fish that hit it come back. Got a little tink for a second. Now I'm gonna bend my blades so they throw a little bit more water. Skip that. This rod, I will say, is more of a multi-purpose rod, but I mainly use it for like jigs and chatterbaits and like frogs. smaller frogs though. I don't throw a lot of big frogs on this rod. I have a 7.6 extra heavy that I like to do for that. Gotta smack that tree. This is what I mean by you can bend your blades on these. I curved mine up more, so it's a more subtle vibration, but it throws a lot of water. I do that to catch that extra finicky presentation. It's trying to get away real fast, so let me kick real hard kind of presentation. And again, I'm throwing it underneath this bridge, I'm letting it hit the bottom, and I'm gonna pull it through the canal that's in between these pillars. Just trying to get them to commit, that's all I'm trying to do. And I'm sorry guys if you can't hear me that well. This is a heavily trafficked area. So, there goes another one. All right guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking this spook and I'm swinging it out in big water because I don't really fish this big water a lot. So I'm gonna try to see if there's any big fish out here. All right, guys, I backlashed the hell out of my spook rod, so I'm gonna switch it back up to this ChatterBait, and I'm gonna try to do the same thing I was doing at first, but I'm gonna try to swing it out more towards these stumps out here, and try to drag this through them stumps and see if we can't get anything to commit. Let's see him. Dink City, baby. What'd you catch him on?
Ribbon.
He caught him off the Yum, like purple and blue flake ribbon tail. He was dragging it off the bottom, off the edge of this bridge right here, and he caught him. Good job, homie. That's our first fish of the day. We ain't a skunk out here, but hey, we're trying to catch fish, so let's get on them. All right, guys, I'm switching it up to an ultralight finesse technique. I'm throwing a Wacky Rig Yum finesse worm, green pumpkin color, with a tiny split shot on it, and I'm just gonna try to see if I can get anything to bite at this point. So. Got him. He's on. Get up here, baby.
Hey, what you doing again?
Finesse worm. About time. Got one on camera. He's a fat little sucker though, son. Little guy.
He probably about a pound.
Not too shabby though.
I'm about to throw on a trick one. Hey, that might be what's in it.
That little finesse worm? True. That's what I got on right now.
Weightless?
Oh, I got a split shot on it.
Hey, how you rigging?
Wacky.
I can't do that.
Alright guys, this is the next day. I forgot to record my outro because I left in a hurry, but that was bank fishing at Vernon Lake. We caught 2 fish. They were alright fish, but if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, make sure you tune into the next video, and share me to all your friends. Hayden out.